welcome to this YouTube channel again, IT on Demand. So we continue from where we left off. We now have Python installed, we have VS Code installed, we have PyCharm installed, but we need to configure these things, right? We need to configure these tools to work appropriately. The first tool I would like to configure is PyCharm. And to do that, locate the Windows logo on your keyboard for Windows, press that button and type PyCharm. When you do that, locate the PyCharm you installed, strike the enter key, or you click on it. Now, on the Mac, the first step you might want to take is to use the command space just to help you locate where PyCharm is. When you use command space, then you type PyCharm. It's about the same thing. So when we first do this, there's a possibility that you would see that you cannot run Python or using PyCharm because PyCharm does not know where your interpreter is. And as you can see here, look at this part of the screen. You can see it says no interpreter here. So if we want to now install this, how do we tell PyCharm where the interpreter is? So the way we do that is go over to this hamburger menu. From there, go to new projects setup. Go to settings for new projects. When you get to settings for new projects, go to Python interpreter here. When you get to Python interpreter, you can see it says no interpreter. So what we want to do is that we want to add an interpreter and add local interpreter. So when we click that add local interpreter, what happens is that we get this screen. We know we already have an existing interpreter installed. So let's click existing interpreter. And the next thing we have to do is to locate where that interpreter is. Now, in some cases, you may not know where it is. So on your Windows machine, press the Windows logo key on the keyboard and press CMD for command prompt. Navigate to Run as Administrator. Click on Run as Administrator. When you click Run as Administrator, you get this pop-up. Click Yes. When you click Yes, type where Python. Once you type where Python, strike the enter key. You will see all the versions of Python you have installed on your system. The Python interpreters you have installed on your system. Now, select the one you want. Now, I already have 3.312 on the PyCharm already. So let me use 3.11 so that we can know. And just for us to know that I already have it, I will just cancel this and show you that I already have this installed. So if I click on this drop down, you can see I have 3.12 here. It's just that I haven't selected it. I haven't told PyCharm that this is the interpreter I want you to use by default. So again, add interpreter. I just wanted to show you that I already have existing this, and I'll go over to this place. I'll select the 3.11. At least now I've convinced you that I don't have 3.11. So I'll press Ctrl C to copy, and I'll head over to this portion here where I can paste the location of the interpreter, and I'll use Ctrl V for that. And notice that we now have 3.11, right? Press OK. Once you press OK, it will reflect on the place for interpreter, the placeholder. the text placeholder for interpreter. Click OK. Once you click OK, it shows up as you can see. So now we have Python interpreter. Now that doesn't mean that, because I just want to quickly show you something here. I will click on apply and wait for it to finish. So let's wait a little bit and see what happens here. It's updating skeletons, and yes, we are done. So we hit the OK button, and that is it. But let's go over again, because if you look at this, we still have no interpreter, and you'll be like, this is not still resolved, right? So we head over to that same hamburger menu on the left top corner, hit that, go to new project setup, go to settings for new projects. From there, we head over to Python interpreter. So this time around, all we want to do is to select the interpreter we want to use. So in my case, just so that I can follow you through in this video together, I'll use that 3.312, and then I'll hit the button apply, and I'll click OK. And once I do this now, I can come here and say, okay, I want to create a new file just to test that things are working. I'll call this intro.py. And once I have that working, let me try to run this file to see if it works. So when I try to run the file, I see this pop up. When I'll choose the interpreter I want. I click this interpreter, and then I say apply again, and run. And you can see that there's nothing. So let's do that print welcome to programming that we did. Welcome to programming. And of course, it still tells me here that no Python interpreter configured, even though I have configured it. I have earlier configured it. I'll choose this one, and now you can see it right here. So this, you won't go through this. I believe you won't go through this twice, just for the sake of this. So once you are done with that, if you just come here to this place, this is the button to run. You click that button, you should see your output here. So don't bother about this for now. I'm not going to explain what the codes are doing or what you should take note of. But for now, just type print welcome to programming and go up here to run, and you should see it at work. So just to confirm things again, I'm going to close this. I would say yes, I want to exit. And again, I would launch PyCharm. I'll wait for PyCharm to load. I'll wait for PyCharm to load. And now PyCharm is loaded, and as you can see, it's now loaded with the interpreter I have. You set up PyCharm to work with Python interpreter. Now in your case, you may not even have to go through all this stress, and the reason I'm going through this is because I have multiple versions, I believe, and so I need to tell it which one I want to use. So, but in your case, you may not have issues like this. But in case you run into any issues, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And that's it for how to configure your PyCharm to work to run your Python programs. So keep an eye. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell because this journey has just begun. See you in the next one where I talk about how to configure the VS Code. Bye.